you, I ain't never been a bitch, nigga. I pop niggas, bitch, I'm really with the shits, nigga. I hit niggas double barrel to his abs when that Mossberg hit him. Watch a nigga do a dab. These pussy niggas wanna see me dead. Since about 09, I done had a ticket on my head. I kill shooters, tell that nigga get his bread back. AC in the gang, I send that nigga head back. Whoever said that love begets love was wrong. I'm from a city where blood begets blood. And slugs hit niggas mug. That ain't bugs and cups, that's choppers for that loose talk. I'm coming plug you up. Pussy, push me, I bet he never see another day. Top at your face, bet you never see another day. When I get to shooting, this motherfucker get out the way. 0 to 100, my baby, it ain't got no delay. Real.
What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of Megalodon Mentality. You already know the fuck I am. I got a guy over here with me. Which way is it? This is Serson right here from the Serson Report, man. We got a good show today, man. Tell your people about us. Like, share this right now because my shit is about to get heavy, man. What's up with you, Mr. Serson?
Not much, friends. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Let me get my message out there.
Absolutely. Well, I ain't gonna keep saying Mr. Serson is part of the Umbrella Academy. Yes, he is part of the Umbrella Gang. Welcome him home. He is with us. The Purple Hearts are in the building. Purple Heart Gang is in the building.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
He does have a strong, positive message. He stands on no women, no children, just as we do over here at ATV, and that is exactly what I love about him. He's done a lot in the community as far as getting pedophiles and rapists and guys of that nature put the fuck behind bars and out of the fucking communities that they were working in, you know, and I respect that all the way. Peace to everybody in the chat. Let me say peace to my people. Peace, God. What up, though? Shout out to my big brother, the king of New Jersey, BTB, man. Where we bully the bullies at. Appreciate you coming out, God. Hey, God, this like my white brother, man. No racial shit. I told him that before, so I can say that out loud. It's like when I first seen his content, I say, wow, man, this guy reminds me a lot of myself in the manner of the way he does his podcast and everything. And it was kind of crazy to see that.
Thank you.
Can't believe Bear. Who is De Niro? One of my moderators. Anybody with a wrench, kick this De Niro guy the fuck out of my chat room. I fuck with Bear. I don't fuck with you, nigga. Whoever you are, get the fuck on, man. Miss Brown, what up, though? Mark Miller, what up, though? Lamar Green, what up, though? Black Magic, what up, though? Yeah, Umbrella Academy is something I saw on my guy Serson's page, so I kind of ran with that. You know, we the Umbrella Gang, Umbrella Academy with the gang, and I respect it. You feel me? Because it's a process. You feel me? We gonna get in gang in a minute.
And I just want to say before it starts, if anyone addresses me in the chat room, I just always have the comments off. I don't read the chat. I get distracted too easy.
Well, I like to acknowledge my people, Serson.
Oh yeah, just myself. I can't read the chat and do the show. So if anyone says anything to me, it's not I'm ignoring you. I'll get distracted.
Well, in any event, what I will do is I will pop up a question.
Yeah, that's
if I see a question, I'll pop it up on the screen. You feel me?
That's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Without a doubt, man. No question. I'm trying to see if Snow is coming in. That's why I'm giving it a minute for Snow Billy. I'm texting him right now to see if he's getting on.
Yeah,
what time.
He just texted me. He'll be here in a few minutes.
He just texted you?
Yeah.
So you want to wait a while in order to get into it? Or you want to?
We are going in on your game because I was talking about how we did the promo first. He showed me, and he said, "Yeah, I'll be there in a few minutes."
That's happening. That's what's up. We got Snow Billy joining us in a minute.
Snow Billy, who I gotta say, linked us up too in a lot of ways. I appreciate him a lot.
I don't give a fuck what they say about Snow Billy. Snow Billy is my guy. until he changed that, until he say different. Fuck what another nigga say. See, y'all too caught up in what everybody else say, being fucking wave riders and dick suckers. Everybody love Queenz Flip. He funny as hell, huh? Yeah, but he's allegedly a sexual predator with 3 to 4 women that have come forward.
In my opinion, no allegedly about it. No allegedly about it. There's content.
You know how it is in the media. We got to be careful with the media here. You know, we don't want anybody trying to sue us.
Okay, we'll say
he's
alleged.
Does he have a case? I mean, if we could pull up a case, then I'll say he's a sexual predator. There's no paperwork.
We'll save it, but he's had cases. Ooh, how did they just disappear? That's weird too.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Absolutely. But you have intimate knowledge of certain works of his, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. After all of that, I actually had my own show on his platform, the Serson Room.
How long would you show on his platform for?
So I went against. I knew I wasn't going to do the show at that point because the premise of the show was he wanted me, like he said, be his pit bull. I didn't feel comfortable. So anyone that would pick on him, he wanted me to make content and do like my reports on them on the show. And for me, I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, I already found you kind of like a sketchy person. Everything that like I knew about him from before that I kind of justified, which I'll get into. Because I sold myself out too to have that show on there, right? This was after the expose and all the stuff I found out about him. And we became friends down the line afterwards. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to feel comfortable. So my live show, I exposed him on there and Shampoo, who's a really good guy, King of All Blacks from Howard Stern. I just talked about the inner workings of the show. And it lasted for about 5 hours, and then they shut it down, and it's never been seen again.
It's never been seen again?
No, there's been a few. So I probably did 15 shows on there. You probably will be able to find about 2 of them. Full-length shows. I did another show on his show with Jenna, who's Math Hoffa's girlfriend, and Sexy Stace, who's a very big like IG star out in New York. She's the big. You know who I'm talking about? The big girl, the pretty big girl.
I do not.
Well, she does all the skits. Like she's one of the million view skit girls out there. And we exposed this woman on Queenz Flips called the IG Auntie, who is actually a pedophile, who was having grown men all go into the room and was throwing a contest for young girls to come in and do stretches and ballet, but they had to be under 14. And it was a room full of adults. Because New York is full of creepy actions I found. One of the most deprived cities in the world. One of the most creative and one of the most greasy. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Like I have so many like acts against children there firsthand. And seeing content of it. I've seen with Queenz Flip all of that going on in that world, which we're going to get into. Mm-hmm. And everyone just turns a blind eye to it. Like New York's very like, you can do anything as long as you just keep moving, I find. As long as you just keep entertaining and people can like get something from you, they'll turn their blind eye to everything.
So here's my thing. What's this thing going on with Flip? I mean, I personally know 4 women. We have audio of you interviewing one of the alleged victims. Let me say that again, alleged victims, even though we believe that there's no allegedly to it. But we have him interviewing one of the alleged victims. Now, how long is this going on? Because Kris Kid thing just 2019. So how long was Flip's thing going on?
Well, I would say I've only been on the internet for like almost 3 years. So when I came around, he's been doing this. So I at least see a 3-year pattern of it, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know what happened before. I can't speak on something that I wasn't around. I've heard he's always been a piece of shit, but I can't speak on that because I didn't see that myself. And I'm good with having just a 3 years of scumbag shit on him, right? 3 years is long enough. To me, what Queenz Flip really reminds me of, and I'm not trying to be dramatic, you know when everyone talks about Harvey Weinstein and all that, and they're like, yo, we all knew. We just kept allowing it. We all knew. Okay, well, the thing about Queenz Flip, he can't do anything for anyone anyway, so we all know. Why aren't you fucking doing something? Are you that fucking desperate for attention? And you're that fucking, like, creatively, like, dead that you have to fucking align yourself with a fucking buffoon? He's a jester. He's nothing but a jester.
You're absolutely correct.
Look
My
at
thing
this video.
is,
I've talked about this before. Look at the one video that made him famous. The video with his son in the car. Go watch the intensity. I've said this before, that he's hitting his fucking son and doing that skit. If you would do that to me, my chest would fucking hurt. Like, it would hurt. It wasn't playful. It wasn't joking. It's like, I've seen a whole pattern of him doing stuff like that, but I'm just saying it gets you into the mind frame of these type of people, what they are, right? He's the type of man that his youngest son, Nico, is having mental breakdowns, and he's filming him having fits and posting it on Instagram. It's like, you're supposed to be a famous New York entertainer, but yet you have videos of your son having mental breakdowns and attacking his siblings, not in a skit, but like, you can see the pain in the kid's eyes, right? Because he has a fuckboy dad like Flip, right? Of course, the kid's going through a lot of shit. His dad's a fuckboy, raging and screaming, deluded, right? But the kid, you can see the anger, and they're filming it, and you're like, what kind of human point in your life do you like? You look at your son in that type of pain, you're like, I want to make content out of that for Instagram. That it doesn't even pay us. You can barely monetize off Instagram. Like, it's disgusting if you fucking exploit your kids for money. Disgusting. But at least there's like a greed to that. There's a purpose to that. For him, it's just I think an emotional thrill.
it's content. See, at a certain point, to certain individuals, everything is content. Anything is content. Now, is it noted that the boy has a mental issue? That has Flip came forward and said the boy has mental issues or anything like that, or just are we assuming here?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm assuming, but I can tell by the way the kid was having these mental flips on the videos. There's something going on there. So there's something psychological going on there. A kid doesn't have those flip outs and attacks his siblings and screaming and yelling. And there's numerous videos of this. Like, a kid doesn't act like that unless something's going on. So mental might be the wrong way. It could be something psychological. It could be environmental. There's many little things. So yeah, thank you for correcting me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
As far as the other children that you've witnessed cruelty against, is it just his sons, or is there other children? And of course, the young lady that was bringing in the 14-year-olds, or the pedophile that was bringing in the 14-year-olds to stretch for the older gentleman. Now, the room full of gentlemen that was comfortable with this, those are the men that we need to get to, because those are the people that put Flip in a position of power, in my opinion, because they're comfortable and okay with him doing the sexual assault, allegedly sexual assaults and stuff like that. You feel me?
So we're going to clarify. The IG auntie was just, there was a guy Chicken who used to be on the show. That was his wife. And it was just like a character, but not hired by Flip. It was just one of his whack pack, I guess you could call him. So I don't want to align. We just did a show on her on Queen's Flip, right? So I don't want anyone, I don't want him to have a scapegoat saying we're saying that was on the show. But that does show the type of caliber of people that are watching his show and that are involved in his inner circle. Because she's been on his show in studio many times. She's been a guest, right? So her husband's been on the show many times. So that is the inner circle. So it shows the audience. But the guys in her room and her himself, I don't think like they were his direct friends. But he did allow that woman, even after we made that video exposing what she was doing, she was on the show numerous times after that. So
now the reason I asked you about that is because do you think that he was complicit in the sex trafficking?
We did the show on his platform. Yeah, well, here's the thing. He is complicit. He's a piece of cunt shit. I'll tell you why. Because we exposed her on his show. We did a show. It was like Serson Report and Queenz Flip expose or something. And it was on Flip the Script channel. It was me, Jenna, and Sexy Stace. We did the show exposing her. We all were like, this is fucked up. We did the entire show. She called in. She was like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this, yada, yada. And we're like, this is a disgusting human being. We just exposed what I just said before. But after that, I wasn't friends with Flip at that point because I like these greasy type of situations. That woman was back on his show in good standing. Like, she became like one of the allowed to be back on that platform and in that world. So you're
she's somewhat
complicit.
of a staple.
Pardon me, sir?
She was somewhat of a staple on the show.
She was one of the random characters that were a staple of the show, is a great way to put it. Because it's a big, it's a big group of like weirdos. But if anyone that watches the show like knows Queenz Flip, yeah, she's a staple on the show. If you're a regular fan, she's a staple on the show. If you're a casual fan, you probably wouldn't. You may not know, right? Because you're not watching all the fucking hours of content. You're just watching the more mainstream.
Absolutely. Well, while we're waiting on Charles East, what up though? Beast 13, what up though? Let me acknowledge a few of my people, man. Charles East, man, it's been a minute, man. You need to join the Umbrella Gang, man. I'm sure we could do something for you, man. Over here, man. You feel me? Talk to bro about that. EBTV, did you get your wrench? I think I gave you a wrench, buddy. You know how we do, man. I had a couple free and shit. Miss Step, do you have a wrench? I'm sorry if I don't know. If you don't, you're gonna get it after this show. You know what I'm saying? You should have a wrench. I know you should, Miss Step. Podcast Wars, I haven't seen you before, but what up, though? I appreciate you coming out. My enlightener in the building. Justice Allah. Peace to the 5% nation of gods and earths, man. Who else I got in here? Bike Life. Diamond Newman. What's happening? All right, did I get everybody? Everybody, if I didn't get everybody, I appreciate y'all coming out. That New Yorkonda TV. What up, though? Salute. Everybody, I need y'all to get hip to the Serson Report. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. It is on YouTube. He does a lot of good work like this in the community, putting a lot of these pedophiles in their place. Racist, put a lot of racists in their place, put a lot of rapists in their place. This is the type of guy we like over here. I guarantee you, if you like my content, you'll like his, because a lot of y'all only like for me to cuss motherfuckers out on shit, and that's what he do. He cuss motherfuckers out. Like he say Flip wanted him to be a pit bull for him. I can actually see that. That is what I saw when I first looked at his videos. Like, wow, this guy's attacking.
Yeah,
the same way that
I want to say one thing too, because people can go, you bitter. No, I'm going to be honest. Flip was great to me. Super nice. I was so excited. Like, you got to think I'm a guy from Canada, right? Just not making any money off what I'm doing, just doing the struggle, right? And he was so great to me. Like, amazing. I wanted to do that show. I was excited to do that show. It wasn't like that was thrown away. Everyone was good to me. I never had a bad experience, right? Like, they kept trying to do stuff for me, and I wanted to do it. It's just like, I'll sell my soul in a lot of ways, but I'm not going to like steal other people's soul, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I'll exploit myself, but I'm not going to exploit other people to get what I want. And I felt like that's what he wanted me to do.
You have a moral, and a lot of people have not have. You feel me? I don't even like for you to say you sold your soul. You feel me? There's an old saying, and I first heard a rapper.
We'll get into it. I do as a total bitch. No, we're gonna get into it. This is a cleansing for me today too. Like, no. I fucking sold my soul to fucking because I thought I could taste, because the delusion of the fame for a second. I tasted it. I sold out my soul because I thought I could exploit myself into getting into a more famous position for a second. I caught myself and I stopped, but I did do it.
Well, see, then you didn't sell your soul. Once you sell your soul, it ain't no going back. See, I myself have bent, but I will not break. See, sometimes you will bend for certain reasons to get to a certain place, even for certain comforts. But I'm not going to break my own back trying to be something for somebody else or act like I'm someone that I'm not. You feel? Or even participate in some shit that I am not comfortable with participating in. You feel me?
And that's the thing, too. I'm pretty comfortable in any situation. So if I feel uncomfortable around you, I don't have I'm not like fucking Ned Stark out here with a super moral code. If I'm looking at you like you're greasy and you're a terrible person, yo, you got to be real bad, because like I can let a lot of shit slide. I like living in the gray, not the white or the black, you know? I like living in that fucking, you can be sketchy and shit. I might get broke tomorrow. You never know.
Every day, man. I had to get my every day on, man. Everybody rock with me every day. Y'all know what I'm getting. I get my motherfucking shit on every day, goddamn. My guy Serson say, "Hey, can I smoke on your show?" I say, "Every day. I smoke every fucking day on my show." Of course you can smoke, my guy. But while we waiting on Billy, man, I'm gonna get into this. Let's get into something. Every day. Every motherfucking day. Let's get into something a little bit less. I got less content on because I got a lot between the conversation of you and the young lady that was a said victim of Queen's flip. But while we're waiting on Billy, let's get into some of the Kris Kidd shit. I'm gonna start with this clip right here, bro, and then we'll talk about it.
All right, this took place in the Southern District of New York, Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney's Office. Lloyd Kidd convicted in Manhattan federal court of sex trafficking and child pornography production offenses. It says that basically the state's attorney announced that a federal jury yesterday, which would have been July 16, 2019, found Lloyd Kidd, aka Kris Kidd, aka Shaefer Rd, aka Red, guilty of sex trafficking a minor and incitement of a minor to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of such conduct. Now it says Kidd, 28, of Brooklyn, New York, was convicted on one count of sex trafficking of a minor, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years in prison and a statutory maximum sentence of life in prison. One count of incitement of a minor to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of such conduct, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years and a statutory maximum sentence of 30 years.
Sick son of a bitch. Flips people.
And you believe that Flip was complicit in this Kris Kidd shit as well, though?
Absolutely.
I mean, just a personal opinion. I'm not asking you. I'm asking your personal opinion.
Yeah, this is from my mom. I'm going to give it a kiss. Absolutely, because even after it was exposed about what he was doing, I had gone to him, and he actually had a beef with Kris Kidd, and all this was exposed. He actually had Kris Kidd again on his platform and was making money off of him. Everyone knew. I knew from Canada, watching fucking Instagram videos, motherfuckers, that he was a child rapist, that he was a pedophile, and he was exploiting children. I was able to get footage and send it to the NYPD. And I know he doesn't like his name dropped. I don't know if any of you young gentlemen know a guy named Bullis Gotti.
Fuck him. He's a fucking
pedophile too. Yes, but I don't know. I don't know anything. But he sent me content too of Kris Kidd putting liquor in a baby's mouth and dropping diapers. I mean, ice cubes in babies' diapers.
Why the fuck would he be doing that?
Why was he putting liquor in a baby's mouth? There's a passed out junkie. I have videos of like little children that were like 12 years old in his apartment with like these old crackhead fat women. And I'm like, I know something's going on because the whole time he'd be talking like about sex and, you know, like, and he'd be talking about like kid characters, like Disney characters having sex. And I'm like, I can see the grooming. I can see what's going on. And I'm recording this and I'm going to Queen's Flip. I'm going to every big person I knew in New York. And I'm like, this is before he got arrested and everything, right? And I'm like, this is the content I have. This is what I see. This is what's going on. You have to do something. You have to do something. No one's doing anything. He's still doing this show every fucking night at this point. He's having fucking all these people like from even Maine the Milkman was on his show. Like everyone was on his show. Like the whole YouTube community that most of us know were on his show at one point. And no one would do anything. So finally, me and all my friends, we just started recording everything. And I went to, and I told Star, who Troy Terrain, who he didn't have any part with what we were doing, but he must have taken that information and went to the NYPD himself because he had a whole investigation with them too, where they bring up his name because he's very, you know, not police oriented, but like child rights and like victim oriented. He has a whole network and an organization. And so we gave all the information we had to the NYPD, and it took, and about a year later, I would still be in small bit of correspondence, and they just ghosted us. And when they ghosted us, it was like probably like 3 months later, everyone was arrested.
So between yourself, Star Torian, and your group of friends began to pay attention to this whole Kris Kid tobacco or whatnot, you guys are basically the reason that he got his time.
If I have to be honest, I'm the reason. I'm the reason. Everyone would have kept taking his money. I'm not trying to be like, ooh, get hype out of it, but the fact is, he would be here today because he was giving money to go work on everyone's platform. He would pay people like $200 to promote his show and to be a guest and all that bullshit. So he would still be going because people just turn their blind eye to like that $200 donation that he was giving, right? And he was in Flip's studio. He was paying Flip in cash, child fucking pimping money to rent out the studio, right? To do a show there. And of course, Flip hasn't come up on charges where even though he took proceeds to crime, the guy who was in his fucking studio, who we all knew were like pimping children, because if you check that interview that I sent you with Jenna's sister, who's a guest on there and used to be a host, she talks about them fucking Kris Kid. Like everyone knew what was going on. Like everyone knew what was going on. That was like Star and them didn't know. They're all in different cities. They just have shows and they're just taking some loser's fucking money, right? Absolutely. But Flip and all of them, they're in house together. They're right beside each other. You can see content with them beside each other. They know each other. And yes, they had beef, but then they worked together afterwards, after all this was exposed, just before he got arrested.
You know what? I'm going to be quite honest with you. I had prior knowledge of any sexual allegations against Flip until you exposed them to me. And you know, I first saw Flip as, like you said, he's a jester, he's a clown. He set his pants on fire and ran through someone's backyard. That was my first experience with Queenz Flip on the YouTube level. You know, I had no idea that he had become some big star until I began to blog myself or whatnot. You feel me? But in saying, you were saying earlier that you saw from Canada that this was going on, and then, well, you know, I see a lot of my audience are shocked by some of the information that's coming out right now. We've been right here privy to it, so that lets you know how deep they buried it. Because I looked at your interviews and I don't have a lot of hits where you did the interview with.
I hit that, so this is where I sold out. I had crazy amounts of Flip expose videos, right? But when I got on when we just stopped talking, I stopped doing the content. I did other things for about 6 months. When I actually went on and got like my show and was fucking with the platform, I took everything down. I just kept those.
So why did you take everything down? Were you ordered to, or did you do it out of some sense of, like you said, you was bending at the point? You say he was selling you, so you were bending at the point. So in part of bending, you decided to take him down.
Yeah, exactly. And like, and at this point, dude, this is like a year and a half ago, right? None of it, although it was real, and like looking back now, I was never on the internet before like that. It all seemed fake in a lot of ways. Like everyone was just like, you're watching a reality show. Everything was so extra and crazy because yes, that young woman was a victim. She's also fucking crazy, and you see all that at the same time. And then like, and here's what really got me, because I know we're good. I see Shaquille O'Neal on the show. And I was like, oh fuck, that should be me. I could weasel my way into doing that. And then I bent.
Mm-hmm.
I bent big time because I was like, I can weasel this. And that makes me a bitch too. Like I'm a big bitch.
No, you're not. No, I can't say that. I mean, if you want to say
yeah, but it's okay. Like it humbles you. You gotta be a bitch sometimes and look at yourself. Like it's good sometimes you look in the mirror. I still look in the mirror sometimes and I'll just be like, whoa. It keeps you humble.
Serson, I've never seen the bitch when I mirror in the mirror and seen my reflection. Now, if it was somebody standing behind me, I might have seen the bitch standing behind me. But I ain't never seen a bitch when I looked at myself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? Now this Kris Kidd thing. Another thing, you said he worked for Flip. You okay? So you don't know exactly how long. You said you got about 3 years worth of information. So within that 3 years, had you had any run-ins yourself with Kris Kidd?
I confronted him as soon as I saw what he was doing. I confronted him, and
I'm talking about before you confronted him.
No. The only reason I knew who Kris Kidd was, this is literally what was going. Star used to, and the other cast members of his show used to have me on their show, and Star used to promote me for free. It's being really nice. So if he ever would say like, "Go subscribe to this person and like their video and share it," right? Well, motherfucker, you've done so much for me. We don't even talk, right? Like we don't talk. So I want to just say there's no connection. I'm not connecting what I did with Star at all. Disconnected. But I'd go subscribe to those people and share it, right? And then that's just how I discovered Kris Kidd. And from Kris Kidd, I found Queenz Flip. I didn't know who he was either. I don't watch that stupid shit, right? Queenz Flip's a bum. And that's how I found Kris Kidd. I had no other prior connection to him whatsoever. So from Kris Kidd, I found all that other world of Queenz Flip and all that.
Let me look him up. It says Kris Kidd, 28, of Brooklyn, New York, was convicted of 1 count of sex trafficking of a minor, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years in prison and a statutory maximum sentence of life in prison, and 1 count of enticement of a minor to engage in a sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing a visual depiction of conduct, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years and a statutory maximum sentence of 30 years. The mandatory minimum sentence and maximum potential sentences are described in the Congress and are provided information, blah, 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 blah. So what did he get, 25 years altogether? Because he wasn't sentenced until November 1st.
I don't remember exactly how many years he got, to be honest. It's out of my hands now. I haven't lingered on like the Kris Kidd thing. Like once they get arrested and charged and all that, like I don't really like keeping a track of that. It's all gross and upsetting content.
So am I to understand that it said from at least about spring of 2015 through at least February 2017, Kidd engaged in sex trafficking of a minor, enticement of a minor to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of producing visual depictions of such conduct. That's only a 2-year run. So am I to understand that this was his only victim or the only one that he was convicted of?
I think with that conviction, but there was a whole gang conviction of an organized ring of people that all went down. So
that came through his conviction.
Well, it was all part of one whole investigation. It was like a crew. And if we're just going to say alleged, it's alleged from what I've heard from reliable sources. That's why Star is living in Atlanta.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah, because like me, I'll be honest, I was able to get the footage with my friends, and like me, I got a weird thing. Like that's why I always can see stuff, because like when you're talking, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at your poster, the way your shirt is, the way you trimmed your beard. Like I don't know, I'm a weirdo. So I'm just looking at other little things. And from that, I can kind of hear what you're saying in the background. But from all the other stuff, that's where I make my opinion. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. So I'm always seeing little weird things. Like even with Kris Kidd, first thing I noticed, from his couch to his door, there was like he had a wooden floor, and the wood was run down, right? Where you could tell there's been thousands of people walking back and forth. And right then I knew it was a trap house. Like instantaneously, first second I saw it, and I was like, I'm going to watch what's going on here. Because I saw a little kid. And that's what started me knowing what's up with Kris Kidd, like from that little trap door from the path. Yeah. You know when you're walking on wood and you have so many people going back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew what was up. I was like, yo, I'm going to check this fucking shit out. Because I don't care. I don't care if people sell drugs or whatever, man. Like, I don't give a fuck. But when it comes to children and stuff like that, that's where it's like, I'll go any level from the police to illegal way to deal with it, but like any possible way.
Absolutely.
Like kids are kids. Kids are kids.
Absolutely.
And I went to
No
every
one
New
knows
Yorker
you.
you guys know. Like I DM'd every cool New Yorker you guys know, and anyone that I know. No one gave a fuck. No one. Not one person from in Queen's Flip's whole organization. If you watch that, you know the main players in that organization. Not one gave a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. And after it was exposed, and after all the drama and all the bullshit that went down, right? And I exposed the whole thing. They saw the videos of him putting fucking ice cubes in fucking babies' kids. They had him back on the platform to do the greater debate, to be a part of the platform again. Because people, he's so fucking creatively like bankrupt. The people wanted to see that drama because he was such a hated character on there. They had him back on.
That is very, very, very.
But and the other weird thing, like I'm telling people right now, this is all my opinion, but you got to break it down. Queen's Flip absolutely works for the NYPD. You would be brought up in charges. He smashed a girl in the fucking face and took her cell phone. You got charged. There's no more record of it. Mm-hmm. You got caught with a gun as a kid. No record of it. He got off. Mm-hmm. He had the Kris kid thing, right? When that investigation went down and all the proceeds of crime, trust me, they follow the money where the money's spent. You don't think the fucking police were like, oh, this pimp fucking child trafficker had a fucking mainstream show in New York and he was fucking paying with it with fucking child fucking drug money. They didn't fucking investigate that. Of course, nothing happened, right? Nothing happens with Flip. And his mom gets him, the girl that was charged him for forcing a blowjob on her. There's a girl that fucking charged him.
Absolutely.
The charge went away. His mom works for the mayor, right? She has the connections with the NYPD. If you look at Queen's Flip's revenue from his videos, because I was there when he had the studio in Soho, it was like $11,000 a month to rent that. The videos were making $7, $10. He's making at maximum off his fucking YouTube $800 a month. Because everything was demonetized because the content was so extreme, right? Everything was red flagged. There was no money, but everything was being recorded. And from there, you start seeing they brought in Killer Kev, and they started only doing gang content. And Queen's Flip gave them an avenue to all of New York's like little subculture criminal world. If you go on Instagram anytime at night, you'll see Queen's Flip in little greasy fucking New York rooms with all these guys that are fucking, I'm telling you, this is no fact. I've seen Queen's Flip not in the same room, but when it's happening, but like the same people he hangs out with, like his inner fan that he's on Instagram at night, they're like making porns with their kids in rooms, doing drugs with their kids in rooms. There's Flip fucking with his tongue out like this, watching fucking dusty old dirty women fucking dance. What do you call it? Like shake the booty, twerking. And it's like, I get all these clips from weird people, right? I have Clout Wars, that Gambian guy on Instagram. They have this all documented. So this isn't just me saying this. You can find this if you want to go look. I'm not going to tell you where. Go on fucking Instagram, type in Queen's Flip, start looking through the stuff. You're going to see thousands and thousands of videos of this just disgusting, creepy man. And this is how you know someone has a mental problem. And it's about when they're standing there with their tongue out, going, he's just like in a meditative, like horny, frisky state of like out of control. It's an emotional thing for him, man. It's not even about like, oh, I just want to see a girl twerk it and get fucking fun and smoke a joint. No, he's getting all mentally into it. Just, it's a state. It's like a creepy, weird. He gets sweaty. It's weird. His tongue starts sticking out, and he's just, you're like, this is a sick fucking man. There's some weird shit going on here.
You said this guy's in a horny, frisky state.
It's a real thing. It's dangerous. Wow.
And I hate to laugh because the young lady you spoke to really, truly sounded like she was afraid. She know what she was gonna do next, man. We're gonna get into some of that content, man, because Billy's taking a minute. We 40 minutes into the stream. Somebody said they're fucking with mine because it's getting blurry. Y'all know how to hate. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I got haters. Ain't nothing wrong with my stream. My connection is solid and safe. Serson's connection is solid and safe or whatnot.
It's probably being blurry with all the smoke, man. You just seen all the smoke all over the place.
Yeah, more
I must have had like 5 cigarettes in this last hour and 3 joints. So
let's get to the points Dave East said. He said we're making good points. Let's pop that up. He said this guy's making good points. How protected Flip really is now. I wonder if Mano is complicit. Don't let her head out.
That's what I mean, Snow Billy. Because if you look now, it's a fact. If you guys don't believe it, I didn't care. Just like I don't care one way or another. Jim Jones is a fucking undercover informant. It's factual. The information's out. He's now with Queenz Flip all the time. You got fucking, like you say, Mano, another fucking snitcher-rooney. He's with Queenz. Remember they're like the New York fucking hip-hop police? No, what they do now is like the podcast police in New York. But they find all these D-list fucking celebrities. They give them a little clout because everyone's so broke now, right? Give them a little bit of size. You don't think the fucking Mano and all them, these people, they've all been arrested for snitching, right? They've all been accused, and now they're all involved in the New York subculture. You don't think the police have funding for this stuff? You think Queenz Flip could afford a studio in Soho? Dude, he was getting 10,000 views, you dumb fucks. I'm telling you, I know how YouTube works, you assholes. Like, there's no money there. I wish there was. You know what? I probably would have bent. I would have kept bending if there was money there. Who knows? I'm telling you, it was nothing. It's all just a big front. His mom has those connections. His mom has silenced these fucking women. How the fuck is it? Like, I have seen like 15 women accuse him of stuff. How does he get away with that? Like, it's impossible. It's impossible unless you have pull. And you don't think like the FBI and all these other government fundings are not like funding hip hop and podcasting and all that. You're deluded. You're deluded. Social media, this is where it's at for them now. And there's a lot of wasted money on people like Flip because they thought Flip was probably a bad investment because now you see the dude's fucking hurting. Right? He's more broke than ever, but like it's a bad investment. Trust me, a lot of people get this snitch money on fucking social media.
Now, a moment ago, you just put a picture, a vivid picture. I don't know if my audience saw it, and I didn't want it to go over their head, so I'm gonna rewind this. You said that his mother works for the mayor or a government. I heard the mayor or some type of high government job in New York City. So I don't want to misspeak. I don't want anybody to be able to try to get this information off the air. But he said this or that and striking it. So we're just gonna say she's allegedly a high official in some type of New York. Do you know for a fact she works for the mayor?
Well, she did. She did work for the mayor. I don't know if right now she is. So right now we can say, but she did work for the mayor. Absolutely. And she's very into the organizations and like the protest scene and all that in New York. I feel bad for her. I'm going to say his mom can suck my ass. She's a punk for supporting her son and letting this all go. And I would never talk bad about someone's mom, but she is a punk for allowing her son. But I get it. You know, a mom's got to love her son. But besides, if she didn't have a weasel son, she's a good woman. She's a fucking strong, good woman. But she's a bitch because of what she's doing for her son, right? Like, you support evil. I get it, right? I get it. But I'm different. I'm brought up different. I did that shit. My parents would disown me. We wouldn't be cool. Like, so maybe that's why I would never turn into a scumbag. Like, me and my family would disown each other in a heartbeat. But his mom is complacent, and she's absolutely protected him from all of this stuff. And he's threatened people many times with these allegations, even live on air, saying, well, my mom has connections to get me out of this. And, like, you know who my mother is? She works for the mayor. My mom's friends with the police chief. He has said this stuff many times, like to scare women. So this is a trend. This isn't just me saying this. This has come out of his own mouth where he said this many times. And if you're a little fucking nerd out there and you're like, oh, I don't believe this, take the time to go through every fucking piece of content and you'll have hundreds of examples of like just discussing this, threatening, using his mummy's name. His mom can't do shit either. Like, don't believe his mom can do shit. She can't do nothing. And all you have to do is expose her on social media, and everyone will blacklist her in a heartbeat because everyone's only cares about the perception. This isn't like fucking the 90s where you gotta be afraid of someone. People have no pull. You have the power yourself. You don't have to be afraid of bums like Queenz Flip's mom. Dumb bitch.
Okay, another thing that you said that I want to rewind.
Yes, sir.
So, people, it didn't go over people's head. You painted a vivid picture of Queenz Flip basically pinpointing rural areas through the guest on his show and giving the police a map. Am I right or wrong? Basically, you said he had guests on his show or whatnot. He opened up little lanes for the NYPD.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a trickle-down effect of, like, discussing this. There's videos of him grabbing women's fucking vaginas on his fucking show and, like, them just sitting there. He grabs their fucking pussy, just like a Donald Trump move. Like, there's so much sexual exploitation and so many little maps that you can go down. It's not like, oh, he had a frisky, creepy moment. You know, I get entertainers, they have weird, creepy, weird moments. There's lots of weird shit that, like, it just, as entertainers, you see shit and you do shit. For him, it's like a pattern of preying on people. If you look at the women too, they all seem to have mental problems. They're all a little bit lost, sad, loners too. And he preys on them. Like, it's just, you can see the pattern, like a Harvey Weinstein. You find the desperate. You find, and the sad thing, because I didn't realize this when I started online, how much clout means to people, and like getting clout and having attention and from your Instagram and the fame. And like, you can find women, you can find guys that will sell their souls to be on a fucking Instagram show that gets fucking 10,000 views at a live, right? Because they just, to them, it feels like something. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, assholes. But that's what he'll do. He'll find weak, mentally unstable women that are yearning for that success, and he has that power over them because he has a small, I'm going to tell you, I've done enough interviews with women. He has a micro penis, right? So, like, he can't get the thrill of, like, I'm going to fuck you, right, with my big dick. It's like, no, I'm going to mind fuck you. I'm going to feel horny and frisky from that. And that's what it is. Micro penis people are scary. I'm telling you. I know it sounds creepy, right? I'm not, like, trying to no homo, but it's a real thing.
Word. That's just crazy.
Imagine having, if you're a guy out there, imagine you had a micro penis. You'd hate women. You'd hate them because you're humiliated every time you pull down your pants, every time you make love. Because the only type of woman that you can get to love you is one that you've made feel like shit and worthless and a piece of scum, and you've dominated her. Because once you've got to that point, even though you're going to be humiliated, you know you've already humiliated her enough. Trust me, he's a pig. He's a pig. And I had no reason to say this. Dude was nice to me. I would have loved to have been on Queenz Flip. I would have loved to have been able to milk that. Oh, I knew when I was gonna do that show. I was like, I just gotta eat it all up and get the fuck out of here. But I wouldn't sell my soul enough to do that. It's not like I wanted to be a staple on that show. That audience loved me. I could have stolen it within a month and just gone and done my own thing, and the people that liked me would have came with me. Probably would have stayed there for about 6 months and then left. Sold my soul, do what they wanted, get the people that I needed, and went on my own.
All right, well, let's get into the did we get everything about Kris Kidd? Is there anything else we need to get about Kris Kidd before we get directly into the Queenz Flip?
And here's just one other thing. If anyone says they didn't realize what was going on with Kris Kidd, you could go to his channel. Even when I went there, when it started, when everyone was paying, letting them pay to be on their shows, he would have posts, and every post would be like cartoon characters from our youth, like My Little Pony, this and that, like Ninja Turtles, Disney characters, all having sex and sexual, like, little memes. And you're like, as soon as you see that, you're like, okay, you're trying to normalize sex to young kids, obviously, right? Because there's now you might see one or two, and sometimes you'll have a stupid friend that posts something like that, and you're just like, you're a fucking idiot. It's not because they're being creepy, they're just an idiot. No, but when you see 50 or 60 of them and 3 or 4 of them a day, that is an obsession. That's not someone just made a stupid gesture and a bad joke. I get that. They're just deciding to be shocking or stupid. Or they're just so naive they thought it was funny.
See, I think that some of these people aren't aware that their subconscious is doing this. Like, you start to see 3 of today and shit like that, then that's your subconscious telling you something right there. you know, that you may not be listening to, or you may be well aware of and be trying to feed someone else. Let me get to this clip right here. All right, let's get to this first clip of you interviewing the said victim, which happens to be Math Hoffa's wife's sister. She still remain nameless, but I don't know. I just did that. So that, you know who that is, then you'll know who she is. But she was also one of the 4 victims that I personally know of that he got a chance to view. And we're going to get into the first clip right now.
Hello, my
from the
friends.
Serson Report.
Serson from Serson Report, and today we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And as you know, it's Serson Report across the board.
The first thing you ask them if they was molested, why? Why you ask that question if they was molested? So if they say yes, they was molested, you can also molest them. Because you know how, molesters know how it works. I think he was abused as a child.
You know what? It's funny you said that, because we were talking about that too. He has a lot of the traits of someone that was abused as a child.
Yes, he definitely does. And that's why I'm like really confused, but I don't want no parts of that.
That's why I honestly do feel the best way to deal with this Queenz flip situation. If it was me, I'm someone who deals with things head on, right?
Right.
I'll help you. I don't want to say who, but I know a lot of really big platforms. I write for shows and stuff. I help people out.
Okay.
Get you and Queenz flip just to talk with a moderator where he can't control the narrative. You know what I mean? Because once he can't control the narrative, the truth will always come to light. You know what I mean? You can't hide the truth.
I'm not even worried. I'm not worried. Like, I'm not even, that doesn't even, the narrative, the truth of the situation does not faze me. Like, I don't care what he's saying. He could say whatever he wants to say. The truth is, you sexually assaulted me, I removed myself from that situation, and you constantly harassed me after that.
Yeah, you won't leave me alone. That's what's very interesting about the entire dynamics of it all.
It's so scary. Now, like, to the point, now it's like, me looking at it now, because I really was in the zone, minding my business. I don't pay attention to the show. When they say he talks about me, I left it alone. Like, this was too much for me. These past couple of videos are too much for me because, all right now, we are a year in. If I didn't respond to coming on your show, you should not be continuously calling me out.
That was, again, the Serson Report. You can catch him on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Talk to me about that call right there. One of the interesting things she said was that she thought that he was abused as a child, and you agreed. Why would you say that?
Because he seems to have like just a weird relationship with women. I think he was abused by a woman. Like, this is my ignorant, uneducated opinion. I have like studied like psychology a little bit and all that, and like I was a victim myself. Like, I've talked about that in a video before. So like, it strikes home to me. He has a weird dynamic with women, like a deep hatred. So he was either sexually or physically abused, it seems to me, or mentally by a woman. He just can't feel comfortable around them. And a lot of times, like, you'll even see women, right? That like when they've been abused by a man, every man that they meet is just like, they lash out, right? It's just highly sexual, lashing out, just can never have that nice, soft, emotional experience with a man, or vice versa, because like they're afraid, you know. It's just, he has a lot of those traits. Like, it falls down the line, the way he like is able to not have empathy for his children, how he always wants to know about like weird sexual things. Like, if you watch him on interviews where he's talking to women, he'll always ask like, what age did you have anal sex? He wants them to say young. He always wants them to say young. Like, that's just a weird question, you know what I mean, to always be asking. When's the first time you had anal sex? What? And it's out of context usually. He's always touching and grabbing, and it's like, maybe he's just a creepy, terrible person, but usually sexual abusers that have patterns of it had a pattern of sexual abuse to them.
No, that's interesting. One thing I did peep, you know, with my mind's eye, is that he is a touchy-feely person. and I don't like touchy-feely people. Me and him would fall out about the second time he touched me, and I told him not to. Like all that touching, he touches everyone in unnormal fashion, if you ask me, because first of all, he plays a lot, and everyone isn't always playing. And then second of all, like everybody doesn't like to be touched. And it's COVID right now. I just see what he slapped the dude's French fries in one silly ass video. And if you notice, people are not sitting on his couch anymore. So now he's back to doing skits. He's back to the clown ass Queenz Flip instead of the mean journalist. You know what I'm saying?
This is something I've noticed no one ever talks about that couch. I would never allow a guest to come on my fucking show and put your dirty feet on my couch. The amount of people that put their feet on his couch is so disrespectful. I don't know if that's like an inside joke thing about people in the industry going like, yo, fuck this motherfucker. And they all laugh like, yo, you put your feet up there. But like, imagine people putting their dirty feet on your couch. Like, it just shows what kind of man you are, the energy you portray.
Yeah, I believe that is disrespectful. Even though that's not his home, that is his studio. This is my shit. Don't come in here putting your feet up like you own the place, and definitely not on my fucking couch. Coffee table.
He picks the people that he'll be tough with. I don't like people like that either. Like, he has a pattern with attacking women. Like, if you watch the show, he's toned down a little bit now. I think he must have someone that's trying to control his image. I would say he has an agent of some sort. But like his show used to just always be like mentally depraved women that would go on, he would abuse, go to the next one. Mentally depraved women, abuse them, the next one. It was just a complete pattern forever and ever. Like there's a list of anyone that's followed the show of like, I say 50 women that have all been abused by the guy in one fashion or another.
This is an interesting comment. Shout out to one of my moderators, Mark Miller. He says, Flip is a cooperating witness with no paperwork, but solved a lot of cases. I'm from Queens. His mom works for the mayor and the NYPD. She's a Freemason like everyone else. Dig that there. That's why it's interesting that no one's sitting on his couch. And you brought up the fact that, like I said, it's the podcast police now instead of the hip hop police, like you said. So him being able to sit down with the individuals. I just said that to someone earlier. When I said, I'm having a guy on today, and he explained to me how possibly Flip is working with the NYPD behind the scenes, or was at one point.
You didn't see, like, this is like, 7 months ago, but he went for about a year there. He was only interviewing like people like Corey King and shit, like just junkie motherfuckers. But like greasy ass dirty bloods, right? No, I'm not saying dirty bloods. I'm saying like he's a fake dirty greasy blood. I've heard from enough people. Corey King's a punk. He's a punk, like a total goof.
Yeah, he ain't my kind, so I don't get no fuck.
Yeah, me either. Corey King, you're a goof. You know what? You know he's a goof. He's bullied. I have this like sweet nurse I'm friends with, Miss Playful. I watch him get bullied every day by a 50-year-old woman. He's supposed to be one of the biggest gang fucking bangers in fucking New York. Trying to check WAC 100. I literally see the sweet 50-year-old woman fucking bully him every day. He'll be in tears and shit. Just fucking crying. Ugh. But yeah, Queensland just had all these fucking dirty criminals on there. And you get them to talk about their greasy stuff, get them to make social media accounts, right? He created all of them, like the poor fucking Killer Kev, who I do love a lot. I think Killer Kev's a good person, just stupid. But yeah, he got them all into social media where they're all talking about their crimes, and the NYPD just fucking sat there, and these stupid motherfuckers would go live all day and they just watch everyone's lives. And I gotta see who is selling drugs. I know everyone in New York and a bunch of districts that sell drugs. They show me their big wads of cash. I'm like, holy fuck, how do you live in a fucking bum ass apartment? And they'll have like $10,000, $8,000. And like the thing is, I was like trying to be nice to all of them because I was like, oh, maybe I can get someone to send you money. None of them have money in their PayPals, right? They just have all the liquid cash.
Right.
But yeah, it was nice of them. So I went around there. Queens, and I found that all from like Queens flipping all them. And the people that report on him. Right? That's all something he's created. And people are stupid to not see this. Like, he had all that funding for that studio was by the fucking police, filtered through other ways, obviously, right? Remember, he had these nice cars and these nice Jeeps, right? They built that image. He doesn't have as much as that now because he's not being funded like that. Because people are onto it. People are onto it. I hear a lot of people now saying what I've been preaching forever, like, dude's a fucking cop. His mom's a pig. Right? His mom doesn't care.
Let me ask you another question.
I'm not being rude, but have you ever seen his mom before?
I have not.
Oh my God, dude. George Foreman.
George Foreman.
He looks like George Foreman.
His mom looks like George Foreman.
Yeah, she looks like George Foreman. She's big too. She's big. You'd have to see her fucking. I'd love to see what his dad looked like. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to get into it. His mom looks like one of those women that might have fucking. Maybe that's where it all stems from.
Oh my God, I got to smoke on that, man. Did you just say that man's mommy looks like George Foreman in the grip? That's fucked up, Serson. Serson, we can't be doing this shit on national television, man. Okay?
You can though, because she helps exploit fucking women and her son be a fucking snitch. Like, she's not a good woman. You can't talk about people's moms. If I don't like you, I can't talk about your mom. But if your mom wants to get down and fucking dirty and be a part of the fucking scene and exploit it and get your fans to build her little image, and you want to be making videos and going on shows and talking about it and silencing the women and using your connections and your pull to fucking save your son, then you can be talked about. But if you're just someone's mom, you're a punk if you talk about someone's mom. You're a punk. You're a fucking punk. But his mom she's in. Fuck her, right? She's a pig.
If you join what I say, I always tell people, if you join the army, you get treated like a soldier. We say no women, no kids, but if you join the game, then we're gonna have to play with you like we play with everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you made the distinguishing factor that you are a punk if you talk about someone's mother that is just a mother and not doing anything and this and that and the other and being a mother. But this particular mother is protecting and helping this scumbag son of hers out of multiple sexual assaults on different women. And I not taking the other Serson, and don't take it that way, but women of color. Let him assault a woman that looks like this man across the screen right here.
Oh, you're going down. You're going down. Oh, you're going down big time.
That ain't going away.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I'm going to tell you, it's a New York thing. I think if he was in another city, it wouldn't fly. New York seems to allow more shit than anywhere else in New York, in the States I've ever seen. New York is the craziest. Like, if the devil had a home, it's in New York. I want to move there. I can't wait to move there, right? It's the worst place in the world. But it is the worst place in the world, and people just allow things to happen. And everyone talks a big game. Everyone.
Well, I won't call it the worst place in the world. Agree with you on that. Shout out to all my New York folks. Shout out to Medina. Shout out to Brooklyn. You feel me? A lot of folk there and some good people. Peace to the gods and everything. You feel me? They talk about Detroit like that. Detroit is a fucking third country. That's like Haiti.
Yeah, but I want to move to New York. I wouldn't want to move to Detroit. Get out of here. But I want to move to New York. It looks like the greatest place in the world to live, right? It's fucking crazy. Everything's just so extreme.
Absolutely.
No, it's the greatest place ever. So I'm not hating, but it's like I've seen a shocking amount of goof behavior there that I've never seen in any other city be allowed. Like, you couldn't do that in Detroit. Do you think Queenz could walk around Detroit or Atlanta and be fucking Queenz Flip? Only in New York.
You know what? He could, because we have now. Don't get me fucked up. We got people that do what he do here, but the reason he's allowed to do it is because of, one, the people he knows. Because, like I said, now no one will sit on his couch. He's back to doing celebrity name drops, and what I mean by that is he slapped Ferraris. What's that dude named? Ferrari, Ashanti. I don't know what the fuck his name. He slapped his fries. Erica Mina's husband. Love and hip hop. Okay, he slapped his fries, and then he does another skit with another celebrity. So that's how he name drops. Oh, I'm famous. I'm one of them. I'm a celebrity. That's what I feel. That's the same as somebody walking up to you telling you, yeah, man, I hang with Snow Billy all the time. And I'm just down in New York City with such and such. You know, those type of individuals. I don't respect that about Flippery. What you say, Chris Kidd, fuck Chris Kidd, another Willy Wonka. and the chocolate factory. Now, in that clip, no, one thing I was saying though is now there was not a Caucasian woman or a white woman that he assaulted or allegedly assaulted, right?
Okay,
People
I'm
all
gonna
black.
tell you something weird about Flip, and don't blame. People always get mad when I say this. This isn't me. This was just a situation. Flip is afraid of white people. He doesn't have much experience with us, and he's freaked out by us. Like, he was really scared when I used to talk about him shit because I was white. He'll make jokes about white people and zing them and all that shit. But when it comes to confrontation, he backsteps. He backsteps. I don't know what it is. I think it's just he was scared like the police are going to be more involved. Like you said, like there's going to be more of consequences. He can't get away with what he's doing. Well, on a white person.
No, because the scare tactics work in the neighborhoods and with
I had victims. I had a victim I did shows with. Me, and she did shows with King of All Blacks from Howard Stern, Shampoo, right? All those boys. So she was with us. She lived in Queenz, and that's what she said. She goes, he ain't shit. You don't got to be scared of him because you don't live here. But he has a bunch of little greasy fucking people that will come and jump me if I fucking come out and tell this story.
Come jump you?
Yeah, she was a girl, right? She was scared of him.
Oh, okay. I beat the fuck out of him. That means it's a midget. He look like Mr. Potato Head. I slap the shit out of Mr. Potato Head and stick his ass in the oven. And you can tell him I said it. I hope you watching, you little midget fuck. I slap the shit out of you, nigga. Fuck you, man. You gonna jump a girl. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. And you said you used to work with this lady that was a victim.
I did some shows with her, yeah.
Oh, you did some shows with her.
Yeah.
Now this is not the same one that you interviewed.
Like a more a real. She get left like the internet. She's running like a charity for young girls now, victims of group homes in New York City.
This is a different young lady than the young lady that you interviewed.
Yeah, a different one. Oh yeah.
How many victims have you spoken to personally?
Probably about 6 or 7.
6 or 7 victims of sexual assault or harassment
it's sexual assault, but it's like it's not rape. Like it is rape, I guess. How everyone like is like grab their tits, grab their pussy. Tried to kiss them, tried to make them like sleep with them, and when they rejected him, he gets mean and he starts bullying them. So it's not like I don't want. Because a lot of people, when you say sexual assault, they think I'm saying like he's raping them. I think it's just as serious, and if there's a massive pattern of it, it's just as dangerous. But I don't want people when you're saying he's not raping them, he's sexually assaulting them would be a better word, I think.
Sexually assaulting them. Yeah, I mean, if you groping somebody, just said it. It's called groping. If you groping someone, it's a sexual assault. It may be a different degree than rape, but it's still a sexual assault.
Yeah, but that's why we're seeing this shit on cam. Like, yo, if you're so fucking frisky, dude, that on camera that you're being recorded, and like you're hoping you can grab like a pussy or like squeeze or touch, and you can't help yourself, right? Because that's his thrill. He can't get naked in front of a girl. That's his little fucking horniness.
See what you're describing to me, and the actions that the young lady described in the interview. Someone that is a step away from rape, basically, like he's a step away from not letting someone leave the room.
That girl accused him of grabbing her head and making her suck his dick, right? She charged him and went to court and just disappeared because they said he had cameras all in the studios. But I believe her, right? Just by her actions and by all the patterns of it, right? He had all of his connections. And from there, that was around the Kris kid time. And that's when all the money started going into the funding. And there's a lot of money around Queenz Flip at that time. I think his mom made him a big deal. So that's another. Dude, I've been accused of a lot of things. If a woman calls the police and says that you made her suck your dick, there's a real good chance it happened. And now, if a girl said, yo, he made me suck his dick, she could be lying. People say all kinds of crazy shit online. But when they go to the step of calling the fucking police, that is fucking usually true. Well, and there was nothing to gain off doing that to Flip, right? Like, you're not going to get famous. The guy's not super rich. It wasn't, he said, I sexually assaulted her, right?
Absolutely.
So, and then you look at the interview I did with Jenna's sister, which is long. It's like an hour long. And the same person who interviewed Charlemagne's victim, right? Interviewed that same girl I interviewed. She said the same thing. She goes, that is sexual assault. He is a predator. Like, everyone, it's just, I didn't go anywhere, and it didn't go anywhere, right? Like, you can tell people, you can show people, no one gives a fuck. Like, this is going to be it. This is it for me. Like, nothing else I can do about Flip. I'm going to keep it moving, right? But this is from my heart and soul. The guy's a piece of shit. He's a scumbag. He's exploiting people. When you look at Harvey Weinstein, when it happens this year, next year, the year after, and you're like, wow. And then finally he does get arrested. The investigation does happen. You see a big, long trail of victims. You're probably going to, I think fucking some very questionable victims that you'll see from him. I don't want to say that out loud, right? Because YouTube. Mm-hmm. You'll look back and you go, we probably should have said something. People should have said something with Harvey Weinstein. People should have said stuff to these creepy celibate bitches and not let them have this power. Because it's fake, right? Like, he has fake power.
That is what makes me believe that either Queenz Flip is making an awesome amount of money at this particular time for people to look over what's going on, or he's an informant of some type. Like my man said earlier in the comments, Mark Miller, he's a cooperating witness without paperwork. You know what I'm saying? For some reason. Because I understand his mother works for the mayor's office, but she said he spoke to at least 6 victims. One who just said out loud while speaking to you that the matter is that he sexually assaulted her and then he harassed her for at least a year on his show. Is that correct?
Yeah, she would have like birthday parties and be at like clubs with her friends, and he'd show up. Like, he'd make his presence known all the time. And that with her, she was, this sounds bad to say, but she was like a hot, crazy. She had like crazy like titties. Like, she was really cute and awesome, right? Like, she was a cool chick. So I could understand why Flip wanted her. And she was one of those girls when you talk to her, like, you know, a girl that makes like every guy like her. She knows what she's doing, like that. You know those girls, the sweet, but they're kind of gangster with you a little bit. Yeah, she was like that. Like, I thought she was awesome. We all liked her, right? She was cool, and so like Flip definitely was like obsessed with that, right? And he knew he was getting a thrill off the power structure of like her being scared. You should have posts of her crying and like big long posts about the assaults and all this stuff, and the very next day he'd be talking about her, right? Like, why are you're getting a thrill off of this? Like, no one makes
up to during these talks talking about his attorneys or what he could do. Because we're going to let the people hear that. I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself because that's in the other clips. But one other thing that you said was she needed to get a moderator. Why did you say that? Like, get a moderator between her and him. That way the truth can come out, because he probably picked one of his people that would side with him.
No, what I was going to do then, if Flip would have agreed, I probably would have like kissed a bunch of ass and try to get Star or someone I knew like who's fucking tough on air, that Flip couldn't bully her, right? Flip could say what he liked, but he wouldn't have power because they'd act as a wall.
Absolutely.
So me, I couldn't do it because I'd be biased, right? But I was like, maybe I could find someone that I know, because I knew people at that point that could act as a moderator that he couldn't bully, and he'd be afraid to scream through them to get to her, right? Because Flip's a bitch, right? He's a punk. So I just know, and I think it's just fair. You have the moderator, you can say and go as crazy as you want on your little section, but you're not going to get past that wall. They're going to feel comfortable there.
All right.
So that's what I meant by that.
Let me address this comment real quick, then we're going to get into the second clip. Ace Rivera, you said, I hit that like button. I'm sending cash out with no wrench. Earlier, you asked for a wrench. Listen, bro, the people on my channel that have wrenches are people that I both respect and consider my friends. A few of which, and I think almost all of whom, can call me on the telephone or at least get in contact with me any other way than on YouTube. I said that to say this: if you send the cash app, all is well, sir. You feel me? But that won't earn you a wrench. What will earn you a wrench is continuing to come around and take part within this community when it drops, every time, if I see that name Ace Rivera, and I have seen it before, but I don't see it often, not as often as Cosmology Bay, or say for instance Mark Miller or Justin Smith or Tyree Triplin or any of the other people in the chat or Touch that have wrenches. Let me address. I had to address that real quick because it ain't about that over here. You feel me? It ain't about no money. You ain't got to send no money to get no wrench. There's plenty of guys that got my channel that ain't sent me $1, homie.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
How much would you sell a wrench for? I'm not too familiar, but I kind of get the concept of it. How much of someone would you sell a wrench for? Everyone has a price.
Actually, I wouldn't sell a wrench for anything because I built my community like Wakanda. I'm T'Challa over here. My community is Wakanda. You feel me? So the people I got around me, my moderators, they support me in one way, shape, form, or fashion, and they don't support people who come in here trolling, who come in here with nonsense. They all get kicked out, so we have a peaceful chat where people can debate. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we should be able to disagree and walk away without me having to shit at you. So you could sell your wrenches. I mean, that's a great idea, but I wouldn't sell it.
I've never even done a live stream before. That's my first one.
I wouldn't sell a wrench though. I don't do that.
I
You
will,
feel me? That's why
give me on a rough day, I'll sell it for $5 a pop. Fuck, I don't give a fuck. Everyone will have a wrench.
But see, they have control. Like my people with wrenches, if somebody says, "Hey, fuck you, Serson," they can go and delete the comment, or they can kick their ass out of my.
Oh, see, I'm different. I love all that craziness.
No, but see, sometimes when like we're having a serious conversation, I don't want to deal with the bullshit, and it'll take my attention sometime and take me away from the topic at hand.
That's why I don't read it. I don't read comments. I haven't seen one comment.
But let me see. Let's get into this second clip from the Serson report. Let me take Cosmology Bay off the screen first because that was in the way of your name tag last time. Let me see. Cosmology Bay right there. And take them off right there.
Hello, Cosmology Bay. I recognize that name, I think.
On Instagram, yeah, that's my guy, man. Shout out to Cosmology Bay.
Hello, sir.
Hello, my friends. It's Tom Serson from Serson Report, and today we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And as you know, it's Serson Report across the board. It was made out that you were a compulsive liar, obsessed.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't understand that because if show me, I never even had this man's number at all. I never had his phone number. I don't talk to you. I'm not asking you for anything.
Well, that's what we said too. Like, if she really was about the fame, she would have just stayed on the show, or she would have sucked his dick.
Yeah.
And to get camera time, you know what I mean?
This is what I told my sisters. I could have this man wrapped around my.
Oh, for sure you could, because you're the prettiest girl on that, like, that was on that network.
Thank you.
But you know what I mean? You're young.
Why he's upset? But I dissed him. He told me I made him feel very bad because I'm very honest. Like I told him, I said, Flip, if I liked you, I would talk to you. I'm a very assertive person, and every one of my boyfriends can tell you. They know I got their numbers. I picked them up. Like I'm very aggressive when it comes to dating and men that I like. Like I know if I like you, you already know I'm gonna like you. You already know how it is. I'm very forward. With him, I was explaining that to him. I said, I know when I like somebody, so you can't force me to like you.
Yeah, like
telling me, oh, I like the kids. This is the thing that he was saying to me after. Oh, I know you like the kids. I know you like me, but you don't want to say. I know this. I know you want to do it again. And I'm like, you know what? This is too much for me because you can't force me to like you. You're doing the most. That's what I want. I don't want to press charges or anything on him, but being that he said what he said yesterday, that makes me want to go press charges on him. That makes me want to go through the legal harsh part of it because really, I could lock him up. He could get locked up for 7 years right now just for the threat of revenge porn.
Now, let's talk about a couple of things that was said in that clip. Was Flip putting out the narrative that she was a compulsive liar in order to combat the fact that she had said that he sexually assaulted her?
Yeah, of course. He did the standard, like, she's crazy, she's obsessed, she wants clout, what everyone says online still to this day, like if you call out anyone or if you have an opinion about anyone or you try to speak out, it's like you're doing this for clout. You're doing this for fame. And it's like, do you know there's no fucking clout or fame in this whole world. We're all broke. Fuck off. You're making money off some other type of avenue. Not saying you're broke, but you're broke off what we're doing here. There's no real gain for it. She didn't really care either. She was pretty enough and cool enough to do her own thing, right?
Right.
She wasn't trying to flip. That's what he did. And I forgot about that people had like the porns of her and he was threatening to put it out. I haven't listened to that in like 2 years. That was like 2 years ago. So I haven't listened to that in like 2 years.
The woman that he forced to give him fellatio, and that was actually a case that disappeared about. Was he on social media speaking about her the same way he was speaking about this victim?
Absolutely.
He was.
Of course.
So he antagonized that situation as well.
Oh, of course.
That's interesting as hell, man.
Well, yeah, I'll drop a bomb. Like I was around in like the inner circle and like I was in like the private groups. I knew everyone in there. We all talked because like before I had like finally dropped the Serson room on the platform, I was doing everyone else's shows at that time. I was all over. And girls used to have to get like banged out to go on the show. Like they used to bang them out. God bless them, but you know, if I'm snitching, I might as well snitch now. Yeah, like a lot of those little groupie pigs would get banged out. I guess I'll have to say allegedly. But you know, people are desperate. I understand this because this is like some people go to the club and party, some people do podcasting. Everything can get wild, you know. But that is what happened. And there is an alleged like AIDS.
You order to shut up, right? Don't the judge usually order you to shut up when there's a case? Like if there was a case actually brought against him for the one young lady that says he forced
everything got dropped. It doesn't go anywhere. It just goes. And here's the thing: people don't. If you have connections, cases can just be dropped, just like that. They don't give a fuck about victims. They let pedophiles back on the street if they can snitch on someone cooler. You know, they'll let fucking drug dealers, even in Canada, that fucking get connected with like methamphetamines or crack, and they'll let them come out as long as they snitch on other people. Fuck, I don't care what you do as long as you can tell on another 15 people. They don't care about the victims. Police are disgusting. I hate the police.
Another thing she said in the interview with you that stood out to me is the things he'd say after. How many things did he do to her? Was this just one particular incident, or was there a few incidents leading up?
Yeah, well, he was like she said, he was always touchy and grabby and like do like little groping and like rubbing up against her. You know what I mean? Like the things. Threw water in her face. Like sometimes you see aggressive things too. Like he was just always crazy with her.
He threw water in her face.
Yeah. It's a big clip. I'm sure you can find it too.
Shout out to my guy Juanito Genovese. He under the umbrella gang in this thing, man. My super producer from Detroit. When you hear instrumental in the background, that's my guy. That's the guy who made it, man. And it's mine. Well, it's his, but it's mine. And shit, I bet not hear none of y'all motherfuckers get that motherfucker, or I'm copyright striking people. Shit. No, I ain't never did that, and I won't do it because I ain't no whole ass nigga. You understand? I'm a rapper, but I'm still a gorilla. Now, another thing she said in that was revenge porn. Now, if nothing ever went on, how can he have revenge porn for her? He threatened to use revenge. She said at the end of the day, when he said that he was going to do the revenge porn thing, that made her want to go to police and press charges. How can he have revenge porn?
I have no idea. I'll be honest, I wasn't there when like who sent who what, so I can't speak on it. I do know there was clips of her like finger blasting herself. I don't know what the correct term is. Diddling herself. And I guess like you know how it is. You send that to some dude that you're playing around with online and it goes around. You should never do that.
That's a good question right there. So Big Mark says, so she kept going back up there. How many times did she go back after incidents? Like I said before, it might have went over my head, but how many incidents do you believe it was just collectively?
So this is what happened. She went back. This is what happened. The last time she got assaulted, they had the whole thing, right? Where he was grabbing her, trying to kiss her. She tried to pull away. He pushed her against the wall. He tried to grab her and grope her and kiss her again. And she pushed him away forcefully. And she was gangster. She wasn't like, you got to understand, like these New York girls. It's not like when they push you away, they're just like, don't do that. It's like, yo, don't fucking do it. Like they're not punks. Like these are like real tough women. It's cool. Like they come out like men. And she punked him. And he stopped, and then he did like, I thought you liked me. You know, he did like the little boy fucking creepy thing. They went down, they finished the show, and from there she called him out. And then like that's when all the stalking and drama, and he would do shows about her, and she would talk back about him. And you gotta remember, her sister was also on the show, Jenna. Right? Like that, who's was a constant co-host of the show. That was her sister on the show. So everything that she was connected to was connected to that show, like her friends, her group, her sisters. Like people don't understand when you go against someone victimizing you. A lot of times it's hard to go against it if like your whole world's kind of wrapped up in that little circle.
Let me ask you this: since you brought up her sister, man, what was Math Hoffa's stance on this?
He wasn't there, and I'm gonna say Math Hoffa and her sister are great people, amazing.
No, because she even said that her sister continued to work, which we'll get into further on in the clips. I got about 4 or 5 more, if I'm not mistaken. That was just the second one.
I've had 3 of these little bastards.
Math Hoffa, I'd like to know how he felt his sister's or his wife's sister being groped at the hands.
I do. So I have like a little bit of correspondence with Math Hoffa. Like we show each other videos and we've spoken and stuff. And I'm sure Math Hoffa knows he's a punk. I don't think they have much to do with Queenz Flip either, but I think they're still part of the New York problem where everyone they'll kind of have to run into him where there'll be content creating, they just turn their eye, right? Because he's not blacklisted. He's still allowed to move around the city. So it's not like you can just be like, I'm going to beef with you on site. These are businessmen. These are people with businesses. Math has his own podcast. Jenner has her own company. His other wife, has a beautiful company. Pardon me?
Math Hoffa is no businessman. Math Hoffa is a suck-ass nigga that punches people unexpectedly and gets named a bully for doing so.
He's so nice.
The motherfucker when they ain't looking. You feel me? And it ain't even a real war. I could see if we were in a real war, you don't give a fuck about getting sucker punched because that's the enemy. But rapping, and you sucker punch and fuck his job. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no coming back from that. And then do it repeatedly because you drunk or high. Fuck Math Hoffa.
I gotta respond to that. I like Math Hoffa. I'm gonna respond to it. First of all, he is a very nice person. If you talk to him, sweet, compassionate, great guy. But the one kid with the hat, he said, yo, don't hit me again with the hat. He said, don't hit me again with the hat. Little fucker got close with the hat again. I understand it. And when I hate that guy. Hitman Holla. Hitman had to get hit. Just like Math Hoffa.
He didn't hit Hitman Holla.
Who was it? Sears Jones.
He didn't hit Hitman Holla.
No, it was
I actually think Hitman Holla beat his ass. He wouldn't hit Hitman Holla. Did he swing?
You're crazy. You think Hitman Holla would beat up Math Hoffa?
I think I know Hitman Holla got hands, and I think he'll beat the shit out of Hitman. See, Hoffa knew who to pull that shit. Pull that shit with Calico. You see, he ain't pull that shit with nobody tough. He pull that shit with niggas that's smaller than him, that ain't got no bulk to him. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna do that with another bully. Calico in his face, and he didn't do shit about that. You know what I'm? But we ain't gonna debate about that. We'll debate about that another time. Man.
Shout out, King. I love Math.
Fuck Math Hoffa. Fuck you, dude. You know, not you, dude, but that dude.
Okay, fuck me. I don't give a fuck. I have to be here.
Nah, let's get into this third clip, man. Here we go.
Hello, my friends. It's Tom Serson from Serson Report, and today we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And as you know, it's Serson Report across the board.
He don't want to call child services on me. He don't want to press charges. His lawyer called him, and how he could get me locked up for defamation of character. Like, one, you don't even know the law. You cannot lock anybody up for defamation of character.
Well, no, it's your own opinion. It's free speech.
Right. So you can't do any of that, and I didn't defame him. I never even mentioned his name in my post. He is the one who took it to social media. So crazy because I don't have as much of a following as him, and anytime I post about it, he goes ape shit on his thing. So like nobody knows what I'm writing. Nobody knows who I'm writing about. So every time you address it and bring it up on the show, you're doing that to yourself. I'm not even on a big platform showing anything. At this point, he has more of an influence. I just actually got off the phone with a lawyer, and they said that I have a defamation of character case, and I can lock him up for even threatening revenge porn. So
Absolutely. That's a huge, huge charge. Is he threatened to release pornographic material of you?
Right. And that's what my lawyer was saying, like, you know, does he have it? I said he doesn't have anything. Honestly, he really doesn't have anything of me. I'm not even concerned about that part. I know that that's something that's on him that he has to say because so he can look like as if it's mutual. It's not mutual. I never sent you anything. I looked through all my text messages with him. There was never, I know for a fact, I know who I send what to, and I don't send out nude or pornography, you know, thread. I don't even post that on my page.
So she says he was threatening. Was he threatening her, or was he on his show threatening to call Child Protective Services and threatening defamation of character suits against? Both. So
Yes,
it was
sir.
full on harassment.
Yes, even I remember that time. I don't know if you cut that clip where he was talking about where he talks about his mother. He even threatened to get his mother involved.
Well, I don't have anything from him because I didn't want to give him any excuse to be able to copyright
No,
strike
me and
my
her.
show.
She talks about that in our interview at one point too, where she was afraid that he'll get his mother involved, and that he had said that he'll get his mom in her connection.
Absolutely, I did hear that. And I got that part as well.
Yes, sir.
Now, what'd you say? She said she could lock him up for revenge porn, but she chose not to for threatening revenge porn. But then she says that he doesn't have any. She didn't send him any.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Guys are creepy. Don't send news, because guess what? You send news to a guy who's part of like a little inner circle, and you're dating or fooling around or flirting with some of that inner circle. Guys get creepy and they send it around to each other. I've never been a part of that. I'm not cool enough. I don't have an inner circle. If you look at me on the
that shit ain't cool.
No, it's
that
not.
Shit ain't cool. I wouldn't even want a nigga looking at
do it. You just ruin it for everyone. Pardon me?
That shit's not cool.
No.
And I wouldn't want a nigga looking at my woman or any woman that I was dating in that fashion and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
So, you know, guys kind of stuff. I think that's what she was saying even back then. But again, like I say, I can only go on what I was told. I don't know exactly what happened, so I can't say I know exactly what happened. I wish I did, but I don't.
Yep.
I'm not a hardy boy.
All right, let's get into the fourth clip.
Hello, my friends. It's Tom Serson from Serson Report, and today we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And as you know, it's Serson Report across the board.
Next show. I can't do it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
Constantly. I'm telling you, and everything he said, like how he tried to use his power, I swear that's what he did. He tried to offer me a show. He was like, I'll give you your own like show where you could do your spiritual readings. And I'm like, no. I said, I don't want anything to do with you. Like,
yeah, it's very similar to the one other girl's story too, where like he was promising, you know, fame. It's what he does. He promises I can get you fame almost if you sleep with me and do what I say.
Yeah.
And then say, I don't know if you had the same scenario.
Conversation when he sexually assaulted me. He told me to talk about my business. As soon as I finished talking about my business, he came over to me, he pulled me by my arm, and he kissed me. And I pushed him away. I was like, no, this is not cool. He did it twice. When I said no, it's not cool, and I was going to walk out, he pulled my arm again. I was like, really? No, we can't do this. And I walked out the door. Like, I feel like, thank God I was close to the door. If I wasn't close to the door, he probably would have wrestled me. That's how I feel. And I walked out, and I was like, and even when we did the skit afterwards, like, I tried my best to smooth it out because my friends were working with him, and I didn't want to say anything because because I didn't want them to think that I was hating or anything.
Yeah, no, I understand how that goes, and it's all like you're almost in a what would you say, like a haze when something like that happens, where you don't realize how bad it was until you step away from it. So, like, did he grab you like aggressively, or just like was he like trying to be
aggressive? Like, you know how he grabs his son in the video?
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, really?
It's just like that. Just like that. Like that grab. Like, I was like, yo, what? Like, I swear I thought I was being pranked. I looked around like, I was like, all right, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Let's go. And I walked out. Because I didn't know now he's saying that he had cameras.
Crazy.
That is where the situation got very interesting, Mr. Serson.
Yeah, I haven't heard this in so long. It's weird just even listening to it back.
She says that he tries to use his power and told her he'd give her a show. So he'll try to use his power like that, or he'll resort to his mother. Is that what I'm to take from this situation right here? Either he'll try to buy you off, I'll give you a show, come on, this and that and the other. What was that, in order to do something or in order for her to shut up?
I think it was a bit of both. I think he knows, like, I like you, I want you, you're gonna be mine. If I get you a show here, are you with the king? You know what I mean? Like, for a creepy guy, there's no better scenario than having like the woman you love fucking under you, right? In the power structure.
Absolutely.
That's what fame does to you. Even like people don't understand. There's people with like 200 subscribers. They'll have a fan of like 50 people, and there's a fucking hierarchy to them. And those like 50 people below them are just so lost in life that they believe in that power structure of this weird little vortex of life they create. They don't have anything. They just go to work, play on the internet, smoke weed. That's their social life.
Another thing she said to me that raised a red flag, to quote Juanito. But Juanito, let me respond to that comment I just had up there. Let me find that again. Where was you at, bro? Oh, man, I done went too far. But he was saying that raised the red flag to him. Oh, there it is, bang. He said that revenge porn kind of raised the red flag to me, because it makes it seem like they had some type of legitimate dealings unless she was underage. But she's saying he doesn't have revenge porn. Or if you just heard the last clip, she said she didn't send him anything, so he shouldn't have any revenge porn.
Yeah, I'll clarify what she said there. What she said was, you know, I've only sent that to, if you go back and you listen, I've only sent that to someone I really like. I just don't send out random clips and vids. I didn't send it to him. So she was saying like she had sent it to someone. She didn't say the name, but like she didn't send it to Flip. So if Flip had it, he had acquired it.
Absolutely.
So that's what she was saying. She wasn't like, Flip's like, oh, I got videos that you sent me. It's like, no, I got my buddy Franco. I'm just using that name as an example. I don't know any Franco. His buddy Franco sent her the video that she had sent him, and he was using that as leverage.
Absolutely.
Just to clear, that's what she alleges. I don't know if that's true. That's what she alleges. Look at me. I'm saying allegedly.
Good shit. Now dig this. She says he kissed her twice and pulled her arm aggressively, just as aggressive as he does his son in the video.
Yeah, that's
that
like,
is sexual assault, indeed, if it did happen.
She doesn't seem. Here's the thing, though. I'll say 3 people interviewed her, right? We listened to each one. With me, we were chaotic and we were going all over the place because it was just like a live call, and I was just like, yo, can I record this? Because she did it like the interview with someone proper, a real investigator, right? But we did that to feel it out, to see if she's telling the truth. Every single person she told the same story to, and she's so fast and chaotic how she speaks. She couldn't do that unless she was telling the truth. She's just so passion-driven. Everything she says is just like, and she jumps from subject to subject, but it was all the same in each conversation. Absolutely. Like you could just tell, like when someone's just passionate and they just feel victimized, they're not thinking of what they're saying. They're just speaking from the heart. So that's the one thing I will say. I do believe her, but It is what it is. I don't have proof. I don't have anyone hooked up to a lie detector test. There is a large pattern of women that, like, you don't have to take my word for it. You can type this in yourself. Go on Instagram. There's so many accounts that have such documentation of it that we've both seen.
Absolutely.
You know, but look for it for yourself, because we're not going to give them any shine, right? We're not. But you just go on Instagram, type in Queenz Flip. You're going to see lots. You're going to see lots and lots of women. And if there's a pattern, then there's truth to it, right? It's true.
Absolutely. And just so you guys know, he's not being arrogant saying we're not going to give any shine to anybody, because, you know, we all about the little guy and growth. But sometimes when you mention someone, you always agree with all their ideals and, you know, subject matter. So we're not going to reference anyone. Just that's why he's saying just go ahead and type it in for yourself and see what you find out. You know, that's something that I actually asked ahead of time not to do, is name drop, because you feel me, like we may not agree with whoever we're discussing in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, my guy.
I appreciate
everybody that's checking in too. Everybody that popped in just checking in, I appreciate y'all. Now, one last thing she said, and she said that if I wasn't close to the door, I really feel like he would have wrestled me. Come on, man. That sounds like a sexual deviant to me.
And you can go back and see this girl. She's not some delicate fucking flower. She's like a Cardi B energy, right? Like, she's not no punk, right? So, like, you'd have to actually be projecting that energy for her to feel that way, right? She's not someone like she's a nerd. Like, you did that to a nerd, anything's gonna scare them. She knows when someone's being goofy and she wasn't the type of girl that wanted to be a victim. She liked being the bad bitch, right? She liked that energy. She wasn't trying to be like one of those girls, and that's what I always found interesting about it. She wasn't trying to be, oh, I was victimized, you know, let's do a GoFundMe. She was just like, yo, fuck off, leave me alone. And he just kept talking about her and showing up and following her, like, after, like, she tried to separate from the situation, and she just couldn't. And she was like going nuts about it, because worse being victimized than being bullied afterwards. Imagine that. Being victimized and bullied.
That's why I was saying I was surprised he was able to speak about the other lady that actually brought charges against him, at least while the shit was going on. You said he was antagonizing and offline as well.
Oh, all the time.
The case was going on. That's very, very strange, man.
Yeah, well, the whole audience knows about it. That's what's even crazier. Like, it's not just me saying it. Anyone that's followed Flip knows this story. Like, there's many shows that this topic was brought up on.
Absolutely. Let's get into the next clip of the Serson report.
Hello, my friends. It's Tom Serson from Serson Report, and today we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And as you know, it's Serson Report across the board.
I was like, all right, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Let's go. And I walked out because I didn't know he's saying that he had cameras on from that day and it's recorded. And I hope it is, so he could show what is what. Whether she could show that I denied him. I told him to get off of me. He did it twice. I could deny him, and I really hope he has all this proof and all this evidence. Like his mother was saying, oh, she better come with her shit. I have everything.
See, his mother, though, works for the mayor's office, right?
She worked for the mayor's office?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I don't know. I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
I heard she worked for the mayor's office, and she was able to get Queenz off the other charge. That's just like rumor, though, speculation.
No, but my sister also told me that he paid Bloom and Rose, that he paid her off because that case was serious. He forced her to suck his dick.
Yeah, I know. That's insane.
Yeah, and and I guess he promised her fame or whatever it was. He made her feel really bad about it. You know what I'm saying? After all of that, the cops came to they said it was 3 detectives that came. They took his computers. He couldn't record in the studio for a few weeks. And then all of a sudden, now it's, just take the video down? No, I was like, that don't even make sense. My sister was like, that claim is done. She's not even going through with it. I said, obviously when you pay somebody off, somebody like her.
Before I forget, I want to say something just about that. What I heard, you can't, once you've been charged and someone's put a rape allegation against you, they just don't drop the investigation. It doesn't go away. The woman would have been charged with committing like a false charge. The only way it worked was actually being able to pay her off, and the police, and having a deal with the police. That's the only way that scenario could ever work in a million years. There still would have been an investigation even if she said no. And if she would have said no, she was lying, then she would have been charged for making a false police report. So this is so long. I haven't heard this in so long. Like, it just brings back memories.
And she said the woman's name. I couldn't catch it good enough in order to regurgitate it. But she actually said the woman's name who brought forth the charge against him for forcing her to give him fellatio.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that's kind of lost in these clips that you're hearing of me talking to her, because I just have like, all I have left for us to use were like sporadic clips of different times I've spoken to her. Mm-hmm. So like some clips will be like a month in the future, some are like a month behind. So like there's different points where she didn't know about the mayor thing. She knows down the line if you listen to other clips where it's more has happened. So everything's kind of out of date that way, just because I didn't. This is years ago, right? I've been following Flip for years, and I've been making this aware. There's so many people that document everything that he has. So I just had the content that I had that we had the rights to use. We can't use his content or other people's because we'll get flagged down. But it's out there. You look for it. It's there. Don't take my word for it. Look at me right now like I'm a fucking liar. Say, this guy's a fucking liar. He's trying to exploit me. He's trying to badmouth Flip, and everything he's saying is a lie. And if you really look at it like that and you want to prove me wrong, you're going to do the same thing I did and go, fuck. No, it's real. The guy's a punk.
One thing that's interesting, just like you said, this was years ago when you conducted this interview, but something that recently came up on Instagram was something about him having his cameras everywhere and being able to see everything or whatnot with some young ladies or what. Do you remember that incident?
Yeah, I glanced at it. I checked it out. But that's nothing new with Flip. Like everything that every studio he's had, every room that he's in, he has hidden cameras. That's just been known. Yeah, everywhere. Flip has cameras everywhere hidden. He used to tell me about that. He used to tell me about that. Like, I used to talk to him, right? And we'd talk about, like, how he do his studio. Like, we'd have, like, little nerd talks, right? Because I was always interested. Yeah, he had, like, little hidden cameras everywhere. And there's lots of points in his videos. If, again, I'm a liar, look at it like that, where he talks about having those hidden cameras all over the place. And every bathroom. Oh, no, I don't. No, I'm going to have to say no to the bathroom because I've never heard that. I've never heard anything about the bathroom. Okay. I want to just say that. I've never heard anything about the bathroom or like, oh, he's filming people in a change room. I've never heard anything like that. Just he had cameras everywhere. Everything was like recorded, right?
Well, the changing room is just as bad as the restroom, if you ask me.
Yeah, but I never heard that. That's what I was trying to say. I was saying I never heard like he was secretly filming anyone. He was just filming everything.
Absolutely.
You know, like you go into someone's house and they have cameras everywhere, like, but not in a creepy way. Just everything is recorded. Like what the police did.
Further to say in the conversation that she denied him on camera. So when his mother, like I said earlier, she brought his mother up. When his mother tells her she better come with her shit or whatnot, she hopes he has the tapes so that everyone can see that she denied him or whatnot. That was a great statement because if she was lying, she would have pressed off and played the backfield like, oh shit, they got a tape. Well, maybe, you know what I'm saying? And like you said earlier, if she was doing it for clout, she would have just went head on and gave him fellatio and kept the job on the show or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I to believe was a this or some type of situation like you gonna do this or you fired? Some type of shit like that, or he just felt like he had that power with his female employees?
I think with her, she was just like, some people you just can't punk. There's some people you just realize like you'll get it and you start dealing with it, and the more and more you get to know them, you're like, I'm not going to be able to punk you. You're going to call me out on everything, and she was just one of those girls. You know, once he knew that like he had gone too far with her and he fucked with the wrong one, discredit and attack right away. He's very insecure. He's always been a very insecure person, right? So, and that's what people do. Like a lot of fucking bullies, they fucking will fuck with someone as soon as they realize they've gone in too deep. They don't keep bullying them. They'll go behind and start smearing their name and fucking trying to bring them down emotionally because they can't do it with the physical presence.
Right on. Right on.
And she was she was more physically and the person strong than she is behind the scenes mentally, right? At home, reading that, seeing that. That's going to break her down. He wasn't going to be able to be in her face and punk her down.
Now, this is an interesting comment I want to read off from one of my longtime subbies, Domio. He says, bro, I done finessed all types of PUSSY in my lifetime. I ain't never been accused of no rape. It's 3 sides to every story, though. And as you know, my shit is Up for Debate TV. There's 2 sides to every story. So, Domio, I have to agree with you. But when he's spoken to 6 victims, we're not just talking about the one young lady that you're hearing, to get you up to speed. We're not just talking about, this is one interview conversation that Serson report had with one of the victims, but he's spoken to 6. Where there's smoke, there's fire, as my good friend Serson says.
And you can see the videos. You can go find them yourself. Don't listen to me. Go look for them yourself.
Where there is smoke, there is fire, bro. That's all I got to say about that. I just want to be clear. We're not just speaking about the one young lady you hear him having the interview with.
And and you got to remember, then you have the Kris kid investigation where the police were there. The rape investigation where they took all of his computers and everything. These are huge investigations that don't keep on happening, right? This is a police organization. Like, you're stupid if you don't see it. I can't tell you in detail how it's run because I'm not an officer. But as someone who doesn't give a fuck, like, I don't care. It's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking weird, right? Have you ever been charged before? I have. I'm not proud of it to say I've been charged. If that motherfucker takes like a fucking year and a half to deal with, bunch of fucking court appearances, back and forth, the police have no power after that point. Once you're charged, you're only dealing with like crowns and fucking, I don't know what they call them, prosecutors and all that. Like, this is a big deal. You have to have big connections and be a part of something bigger to be able to have these things just disappear.
Absolutely.
Police don't do shit. They're just pigs, right? They just go around and they arrest you. It ends with them. It ends.
And he was renting the studio. Kris Kidd was renting the studio from Flip, right? To do his thing, right? Did he ever have any?
And after I made you, there's a video I have on Serson Report. It's called Kris Kidd's Convicted, but it was like from 2.5 years ago, about 2.5 years ago, before he was arrested and all that, where I was bringing this to light. Everyone knew about it before he got convicted. He got a little bit blacklisted by my work for a little bit. But guess what happened about 6 months afterwards? These broke bitches needed some money. He was able to buy his way back in. Not to Mr. Troy Terrain. Troy Terrain is definitely the one who I'd say brought him down the most. Because who knows what he fucking did, right? Absolutely. There's like real police over in that organization, all kinds of crazy shit that they're not getting involved with Serson Report. But we did the groundwork, right?
Absolutely. You brought it to the forefront and respect in all aspects for that, man. Let's get into the next clip right here, the Serson Report.
Hello, my friends. It's Tom Serson from Serson Report, and today we are streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And as you know, it's Serson Report across the board. They don't care what happens to them.
I feel like the Illuminati is coming after me with all of this.
Yeah, but that's because you're in a little circle. Like, Queenz and them have a lot of problems with me also. I've been on the show and stuff, arguing with them, right? I don't get along with them.
But this is the thing. This is why I was like saying yesterday, I'm like, I'm not the only one making these accusations. Why are you so mad about mine?
Oh no, they're mad about mine too. It's just the difference is between me and you. I guess I don't live in New York, first of all, right? Which wouldn't affect me anyways. I'm not afraid of Queenz. I think they're nerds.
Me neither.
He's a nerd. But he's a nerd. If you actually look at Queenz Flip and Space Ghost and all those people, they're nerds. They're not real raw boys at all. They're nerds.
No, like they're not gangsters at all. Like that's like how he portrays it. No, I know people that know Flip personally. I know people that know him personally, and then he's saying like I'm jealous of my sister. How can I be jealous of her? How? She doesn't have anything better than me, and for her messing with you, that makes me jealous. Like that don't make me nothing. That makes me hate her.
I don't think they're making much money over there, anyone working for Flip, so.
No, they're not. They're not. This is what I said. Like,
I don't think some of them even get paid. I think they just do it out of vanity with the delusion that they're going to get famous and make money down the line.
That's what I said, but she said that he pays her to be his personal assistant. But on that show, they beg for donations, like that's what y'all do. Right. It's not a lot of money that he's making, so that's why I'm not even trying to pursue financially. I just want him to stop mentioning my name. That's really what I've been asking, because I don't even want to go through with the legalities of this. I don't have time for it. I don't have energy for it. I don't want to do this, but.
What was her sister's position? Did she still work for Flip?
No. She, in my opinion, it's unspoken, so I'm not putting words in anyone's mouth, but they know what a punk he is too, and they've just separated themselves. We all got caught in the moment there. It's not like everyone was caught in that vortex at that moment. Flip was really popping. He was like the New York, Jersey Shore. Everything, it was so crazy over there. I'd never seen anything like that in my whole life. It was like the Jersey Shore. So everything was so fast and so crazy and so much happening at once. Nothing registered until like you separated yourself from it and were involved.
She said she felt like the Illuminati was coming after her. What does she mean by that? And you said you understood as well. Like I know you said they got like a little circus of geeks over there that do shit.
Yeah, so when I was against Flip, they were like, I had like pictures of my my like apartment. They'd like Google image it to me, and they'd like send me messages. We're gonna meet you at the corner at this time, and all this. But I wasn't afraid because I needed that footage. I thought I'd get to World Star, so I'd wait out at the corner with the fucking phone, right? And I'd be like, I'm here, because it was like, how cool would that be? And nothing happened to me. I just says I'm an entertainer first, right? So let's go with it. Let's just see. I'm not worried about some nerd coming to beat me up. I'm in Canada, right? I'm sorry. I know a lot of people in the States, you shouldn't play that stupid game, but I'm in Canada. And someone like Queenz Flip sending someone to get me, I don't have to be worried. Right?
Yeah,
and I knew it was all fake. And then like he was threatening to get like lawyers involved, and he would tell me how they're going to sue me and make me lose my job and all this other stuff, like trying to scare me, right, for defamation. But I was lucky because I had like bigger people that had bigger platforms where I'd send them all this information. They're like, you're good. But they said the same thing you said. I got to learn to say allegedly.
Yeah, until there's actual factual that we can press on the screen the way we did Mr. Kid earlier, or that puss bag Mr. Kid, not even Mr. Kid, that succubus. You gotta succubus spirit, man. Anybody that fucks with kids, man, I hope they in Bubba's cell. You know what I'm saying? The cell with Big Bubba, and he like butt cakes.
You have someone around you. You know someone. I saw it from Canada. They knew what he was doing. If I knew from Canada and Ottawa, Ontario, a 45-minute if you knew from Canada, 45-minute fucking flight away from New York City, from my fucking computer desk, what he was doing, this guy that they were all around, they knew what was going on. They knew. It was, I heard them all talking about it, but it's all alleged, I guess you have to say. They were having like big, like horny parties of creep with girls after the show sometime. Girls weren't wanting to fuck them. I believe you'd find even deeper, Kris Kid was involved in bringing girls sometimes. Absolutely. Because that's what that Jenner's sister, at some points in those interviews, she talks about like Kris Kid. And he was a pimp. So like
little kids, see the gods don't play that shit. One thing, motherfuckers can say what they want to. We don't fuck around with that energy at all. Any type of child predator, any type of nigga that preys or on women or children is out of there by any means necessary. I don't give a fuck. However you can get them out of there, get them out of there. Because it could be your child. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you can sit up under a motherfucker that you know is trafficking a minor and putting them up to make kiddie porn and possibly doing, that's why I asked you if he was renting his studio, because he possibly made kiddie porn in his studio.
No, he didn't. He didn't. I'll be honest. I know he didn't do that there. His other studios, but he had other studios of his own, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know, but in Flip Studio, that never happened. I can mark that. Everyone watched Kris Kid very, very closely. He was never. I just want to put it out there. That never happened. That was the FBI studio, of course. Of course, that never went down. No, Queenz Flip who had 10,000 views a show. This is how stupid people are that anyone's doubting this. Queenz Flip, who had 10,000 views sometimes, if he was lucky at that point, right? Had a studio in Soho. Are you fucking stupid? With all the gangbangers and old OGs who are all desperate for a little bit of money that just came out of prison, all going onto his platform. He gave them all social media, gave Killer Kev that fucking phone. Who knows what fucking phone he gave Killer Kev, the dumb bastard. I love Killer Kev, but he's a dumb motherfucker, right? Check out my video, Killer Kev is on welfare on Serson Report. Mm-hmm. Great guy, though, Killer Kev. I love you. He's always shown me a lot of love. We wanted to do a show together at one point. But he got all these bums, and then they've been following all the connections. If you look at, like, the Corey Kings, all these people, they all document all the criminals they hang out with, all the things that's going on in the streets, all the drug dealers. They talk about all of it. So...
Well, we're approaching 2 hours here, man. I'm gonna cap it around now, and I'd love to have you back sometime in the future.
Of course, Oz. Anytime.
The work you've done in the community. Matter of fact, before you leave, let them know about some of the other works you've accomplished in this realm within the community.
What do you mean in the community? I'm sorry, I'm just confused.
Didn't you help crack a different case where there was some type of child trafficking or something?
Yeah, we were
going
talking
on?
about the IG Ante one. We did the IG Ante, which, but again,
what did that
that was with the girls that they had contests for 12-year-old girls to go and stretch and do aerobics. That's what the contest was in a group of grown men in a private chat room. She was a member of Queenz Flip, like a regular guest at one point, her and her boyfriend or her husband, Chicken, and they'd win like $25 gift prizes and stuff. But I'm going to tell you, dude, would you let your kid go on Instagram and stretch in a room full of a bunch of bums, grown-ass men, for a contest? And what grown-ass man, imagine you're just hanging out and you're like, oh, I'm going to watch a video of a 12-year-old girl stretching in a contest and rate it. Like, there's only one reason you're doing that. You're a pervert. You're an evil person. Like, there's just, it's terrible. And if you don't think Queenz Flip is a violent person, I implore you, go watch Queenz Flip's video that made him famous. Queenz Flip flips out in the car with his son. Watch how fucking hard he smashes his fucking kid. Because, like, I try to analyze and be like, no, he's just smashing it. Like, he has no regard for anyone. He's just a complete narcissist, out of control Harvey Weinstein. And the worst part is he's a broke bum. He's a bum. Like, you guys are doing this for fucking nothingness. His fucking D-list show with Miss Jones didn't even fucking pop off. All he's had is a New York Police Department fucking studio in Soho. So, you know what? Okay. And the sad thing about this video, he'll be doing the same thing a year from now until an actual case gets brought up and someone fucking has the courage and he does something very terrible that he can't get away from and his mom can't save him. And then all this will come to light and people will be like, I probably should have done something. You ain't gaining anything. Speak up. Boycott these people. Boycott. You don't need any. There's a million other people you can go support. Fuck. Go support Gully TV. Anyone? There's a million of them out
No,
there.
fuck Gully TV.
No, Gully's nice to me too.
Don't talk Gully TV out on my shit. Fuck that nigga.
Okay, sorry. Gully's nice to me though. I'm sorry.
Fuck Gully TV and anybody. Listen, Pac. Let me get my Pac in this motherfucker. What Pac at? Let me get my Pac in this motherfucker. Fuck Gully TV as a record label, as a motherfucking staff, and as a motherfucking crew. And anybody want to be down with Gully TV, fuck you too. I'm saying, real 100 shit. I'm gonna slap the shit out of that nigga when I see him. I'm just ruin my shit. So you fuck me up, Serson. Just ruin my shit with that, because I got a rant. Now I'm gonna slap that bitch crazy when I run into him. That nigga's a fanny pack. That nigga's a sweet potato. That nigga's a curly. That nigga's a motherfucking a Pop-Tart sweetheart. He's soft in the middle. He got a stuffy feeling right there where his belly's supposed to be. He asks
We'll
men.
do a video on it. We'll do a show on it. We'll do a show on it. Why Gully TV sucks. You can educate me.
He is in love with men, man.
Dude, I can switch
He
up.
likes men
I can
with
switch
heavy
up.
physique.
I just got a subscription from him. I don't care, right? Fuck him. But Gully
He wouldn't
nice
be
to me.
attracted to you because you don't have a nice physique. He want a nigga with muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like Sean Branch. You feel me? Gully TV is a fanny pack, man. Swear on everything I love, man. You ain't gonna never be able to change my opinion on that, Serson. Fuck what you having. I just don't fuck with that clown, dog.
I don't know, man. He just was nice to me. He retweeted my shit, posted my video, and then I just haven't spoken to him since. So I don't know the intricacies of Gully TV. But if we're saying fuck Gully TV, guess what? Fuck Gully TV. That's the type of energy I'm on. Fuck Gully TV. I'll say it. Fuck Gully TV. Fuck him. I don't need him.
Gully TV, that's my dog.
I don't know.
See, that's why you my dog. No, but it ain't like that. You feel me? But you know, I don't want nobody to disassociate themselves with nobody.
You ain't doing nothing for me. You didn't have me on the show. You didn't have me on the show. Fuck him. I ain't buying those fucking shitty fucking shorts with his name across the fucking pecker. He's a fucking weirdo. Fucking that shitty book. Did you see his book? He wants $45 for it on Amazon. It's like fucking 45 pages. See, I can switch up real quick. Fuck Gully TV. I'm watching that shit anyways. Fucking shitty fucking.
You know what, though? I do want to look because I want to know what he talking about. Glaze. You got a picture of my good friend and my mentor in the way as too. Glaze Gibbs. Shout out to him, BGG, the man that wrote this book right here, Beyond Lucky. And they don't fuck. I don't fuck with him, and I know Glaze don't fuck with him either. So for you to have a paragraph about Glaze and your shit, I want to know what it's about. I
wouldn't pay $45 or whatever Canadian. That'd be like $60. That's fucking out of control. Who sells a book for that much? Like, that's vanity.
Yeah, the best-selling author, and he ain't one of them. So I'm not buying that shit from him. What I will do is I'll motherfucking get it from somebody that was stupid enough to buy it from and read their shit secondhand. You feel me?
Fuck him.
There's gonna be a bunch of used ones for like $3 or $4 on Amazon in a minute. So you ain't gonna don't worry about it if you really want to read it.
I don't think he's selling that many. I think it's like it's a print to press. Someone buys it, it gets printed out, then they send it out. That's probably why he sells it for so much, right? He's probably paying like $30 a book to get it sent out. Then that's why he charges the extra $10 to make a profit. I don't see a big press company going, Gully TV has 20,000 subscribers. He gets like a couple thousand views a video. Like, I don't see any publishing company going where books are almost a thing of the past going, we're going to print you out. It's a self-vanity project. I've had a lot of friends that were authors, self-published. He self-published. Motherfucker self-published.
Now that you done been on this channel, me and him, we don't fuck with each other like that. That bitch took shots.
He only reposted one of my videos and subscribed to my shit. Fuck him. Dude, I thought he was Snowbilly's friend, so I was just like, fuck it. Snowbilly's always been nice to me, introduced me to you, you know?
Word. Shout out to Snowbilly. Man?
Even though he didn't show up today. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch, bro. Fuck you, buddy. But I love Snow. Shout out to Snow.
Shout out to Snow. Since you brought him up, you know I got the Frank Station on here. Let's play the Frank Station promo for my guy Snowbilly, even though he ain't show up on us tonight.
Welcome to the Final Frankcast Snowbilly Frank Stand Podcast Game Show. It's the instruction manual, man. So I'm gonna walk y'all through this shit real quick. You know, this is basically welcome to Snow Billy Hot Dog World. Find a Frank Cat. You know what I mean? I'm just showing you the instructions, you know? So when you get the game, you know how to play it. It ain't all about just, you know, hitting a nigga with a hot dog. Instructions to this shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit about to be in Walmart, Target, everywhere. I'm saying, yeah, definitely gotta have the hound sauce. You know, Snow Billy sauce, though. These instructions, you get your sauce.
God bless everyone over there. No hot dog got a motherfucker. Yeah.
All right, bro. I appreciate you coming out, man. Let's do it again sometime.
And one quick thing. Can I give one quick thing? I know there's some of you in that room. You're on your Instagram right now. Serson Report. SERSON Report. If you can't spell report, I don't need you. That's my motto. But Serson, again, it's tricky. SERSON Report. That's it. That's the big account. Don't follow any of the other ones, all the clones or the fake accounts. Just Serson Report. That's the name. Follow me, you son of a bitches. I'm watching right now. I want to see someone. Fucking pricks. And thank you for having me on. It was a pleasure. And it was a pleasure meeting all of you. And I hope to meet you again soon. Thank you. I had a lot of fun. And fuck Queenz Flip.
Umbrella, he is Umbrella. This is Mr. The Serson Report on Instagram and on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. We got some very good content, and we're gonna do this again because, as you can see, we stand on what we stand on, and that's no women and no children. You feel me? And fucking with women and kids, you can guarantee you're gonna see him or me in your face in some type of fucking way. You know what I'm saying? All right, Serson, I appreciate you, guy.
Have a great one.
Tell you I ain't never been a bitch, nigga. I pop niggas, bitch, I'm really with the shits, nigga. I hit niggas, double barrel to his abs. When that Mossberg hit him, watch a nigga do a dab. These pussy niggas wanna see me dead. Since about 09, I done had a ticket on my head. I kill shooters, tell that nigga get his bread back. ATM the gang, I send that nigga head back. Whoever said that love begets love was wrong. I'm from a city where blood begets blood. It's love hit niggas mug. That ain't bugs and cuffs. That's choppers for that loose talk. I'm coming plug you up. Pussy, push me, I bet he never see another day.